talk about Bush, Louisiana, New Roads, Baton Rouge, that's little cities within cities, or communities within communities. High school, I was a very open person, had a lot of friends. College, I had a lot of friends, and girls in the sororities and guys in the fraternities, and we just had, it was a very open type book of life experiences that I encountered. And I had a car, and there were very few guys on campus had cars, and so that puts you in elevate you in terms of relationships, whether or not the folks were the relationship with me or my car, I don't know, but I enjoyed both of them.
I had graduated from high school in '60, so I was living in New Orleans. I had a part-time job, and I had come back for my sister's graduation. And that following year, I was going to nursing school.
There's a friend of mine by the name of Elliot Palmer. And Elliot Palmer was a very good friend of mine, and he taught mathematics. I was teaching next to him, my classroom, and I saw this little lady came down to him she came to get a letter of recommendation or something. She was going on to college, nursing school or something. And she had graduated already from the high school. It's my first year there. And I saw this little lady come down there switching. I said, I mean, she was a pretty little thing. Just as pretty as a brand new nickel. And I said, Ellie, who's that? He said, well, yeah, that's one of the Rodney girls. And I said, man, she's a nice little number. I'd like to meet her.
We met in 1961 rather. My sister introduced us at her graduation dance in a little town called New Roads in Louisiana. She said, I have someone I want you to meet. And I looked at him and I said, oh, I know that guy. And I said, they all look alike. There's a bunch of them, a bunch of Valdrys and a bunch of Spooners. They all wore brown and they all wore little stingy rim hats. So I said, oh, I know him. And I just said, all right, I took it casually. And from there, he would pass on his way to work because he had to pass our house on the highway to get to the town where the school was. He did spark my interest, but I didn't think he would have selected me. For some reason, I thought he would be interested in much more of I don't know, I just thought maybe I wasn't sophisticated enough. I don't know what it was.
We talked a while and we dated for a while, and
he would stop all the time, and my parents approved of him because he was a French Creole young man. My dad knew his dad, and my dad had to approve everyone. He had to know your grandfather.
It was a good relationship, so it wasn't a stranger coming in asking him to take his daughter away.
We dated, for about 6 months and became engaged, and the following, I guess, fall of the year, September, we got married in a little church called St. Augustine in New Roads. And
we were both Roman Catholics. And, and I had done some thinking about that. And my thoughts was that marriages or relationships, whenever people are of the same faith, that's a plus for a relationship.
We had both had the same ideas about life. We wanted to excel, and he just wanted more of his family. He just wanted the better things, and I don't think we could have gotten those in Louisiana. Just being a industrial art teacher, he wanted a little more.
So come around, it's about 62 now, and we got a kid on the way. And I'm looking around, I said, well, if I stayed here 30 years, based upon what I was being paid by the Point Capee Parish School Board at $240 a month, traveling back and forth to school every day. I had to borrow money from my mother out of her little checks, put gas in my car. I said, man, it's not going to make it here. I had to get the hell out of Dodge.
what happened? He said, we always have Louisiana. We could always come back to Louisiana, but I don't, see us doing any worse than anybody else. So he said, we have nothing to lose. We're going with nothing. So if we come back, we'll come back with experience, but I don't foresee us coming back. And then he came to California to pursue, I guess, the things we have now. He had a teaching credential. He got his teaching credential at USC back in '59 or something. So he came here that summer. I stayed behind. About 3 months later, I came down with Renee. I flew in. That was quite exciting because that was my first flight.
It was raining, lightning, and carrying on, and her mother said, "Well, Jen, I don't know if you guys should go because the weather's so bad." And
my mom said, "Why don't you leave the baby and you go on in the storm? We something might happen."
She said, "It's raining. The weather is bad." She said, "But my husband is in California, and I got to go and be with my husband."
I was quite proud of him because it took a lot of sacrificing. Went on to Cal State and got his master's, working 2 jobs. He was teaching at Compton and working at California Metal and Enameling. Like when he started the Young Black Scholars Program, he was away from home quite a bit, soliciting organizations for funds and corporations. He would leave whatever he was doing in the middle of the day and come home and take a shower and go have lunch with corporate people to get corporate money in. Both of the children went to Windsor Hill School. Then it was right there in View Park. We lived in View Park. So they both went to Windsor Hill School. Renee was more of a people person. He wanted to participate in everything. He was in a little league, and he was in a little school play. But Andre was just a bit different. She's like a loner. She was always an independent person,
Now, he did his baccalaureate degree at UCLA in political science, urban design, political science. But when he went to Rockwell, because of his fundamental background of plans, design, drawings, architectural designs, he obtained a job as a facility planner for Boeing, at Rockwell at the time. But he went on to Boeing. He's with Boeing now, and he's representing all the Western United States for Boeings and their properties and facility design.
Reflecting on how my parents raised us, I say that's Andre and I, basically there was a focus on hard work. Mom always said good manners, never go out of style. And Dad was always a firm believer in if you were going to play, you needed to make sure that your homework was done. So basically, coming from his teaching background, he wanted to make sure that we were prepared.
And they tried to instill in us values: be hardworking, be truthful, and do as well as you can. Well, they're always a team, and they're always equals. One won't make a decision without the other.
Andre always had a sense of how adults behave because she grew up around adults. She would always take her to these places and she would sit back and listen. And so she is one that is very bright, a very good reader. And from that, she became one of the noted librarians and did her baccalaureate degree at UCLA, master's at UCLA in English, and another master's in library science. She got a double master from UCLA. And she now works at the El Camino College Compton Center as a librarian.
And I think all I have to say is, Mom, Dad, happy anniversary.
Congratulations on 50 years. May you have 50 years more.
We bought some property in Louisiana. We go there every 6 weeks and spend about 7 or 8 days, and just relax, chill out, and have family there.
But her grandmother used to live on that plantation and used to pick cotton on that plantation. Right today, where the Valdry estate is part of the old Cherie plantation. And at one point in time, her grandmother or relatives several generations back worked that plantation, now that she owns it.
We go in, we fish, we have our little private pond, and then we have the big river across the highway, and we fish there, So there's a bit of history there that goes with that land. In terms of our partnership, it does take two, and it takes a lot of trust. We have to trust each other. We have to love what we were doing. We have to love each other. We have to, it's like a 100% partnership. It's not a 50-50 thing. You can't get anywhere with a 50-50. You have to do 100% plus. So we both gave it the over 100 and the 100 plus attention, love, affection, and all that giving. And people think you don't have to give, or I'm going to be stubborn and I'm going to stand my grounds, but you can't. In a partnership like marriage, you can't do that. You have to give it your all, or just say, hey, I can't do it.
The quality of person that she is, a very enduring, quiet lady with insurmountable quantity, not flamboyant, and have an awful lot of respect for herself. And in turn, I think that quality allows her the ability to have respect for her spouse and her family.
Warren's a great guy. We've had, I guess, a kind of love affair that's really etched in stone. I don't know what could crack that, and we take our vows seriously. I know I do. I take mine. And I can remember back on the 25th, I said, Warren, we're going to celebrate our 25th. Do you want to renew your vow? He says, I don't have to renew mine. Mine is still good. There's nothing to renew about it. It's still good. It's still genuine. But we went on and we renewed it again. So here it is, 50 years later. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to renew our vows publicly and profess our love to each other. And hopefully we'll go on for 75.